STARBORN. Remember, to be a star, you have to shine your own light, follow your own path, and not be afraid of the darkness, because that's when stars shine brightest. In fact, if you have been looking at my website, starborninstitute.org, you'd already know that the title of tonight's show is It Pays to Speak Up. And it can really be rather profitable for you right now to speak up and let other people know about your good ideas. And that is for a variety of reasons right now. One of the big reasons is that for the first time in many, many months, all the planets are direct. Uranus, which had been the last retrograde planet, just went direct last week, and now all 10 planets are surging forward. And that's a good sign that you can have a lot easier time speaking up and sharing your good ideas with people. And one of the big reasons for that as well is that there is a grand trine, or there is a trine of the lights, the sun and the moon, in the conceptual, creative, communicative air signs. And that can do you a lot of good right now, because the sun is in Aquarius, the sign of the future. So that could mean that this is the right time to bring out your futuristic ideas or talk about your future plans. And the Sun and Pluto in Aquarius are trining the moon today in Libra. And Libra rules partnership and the law and compromise and negotiation and truce and treaties. And so this is a wonderful time for you to sort of speak up and let people know what your future goals or your plans are. And they can be very interested and willing to listen right now to new ideas. But also, because the planets in Aquarius are trining the sign of Libra, it means that you can attract new partners right now who are more than willing to listen to your good ideas. Maybe they're looking for good ideas, because these 3 planets in the air signs are also trining the sign of Gemini. And Gemini does rule communication, buying and selling, advertising, promoting. It can rule temporary or short-term efforts or jobs. And so it doesn't have to, your good idea doesn't have to last forever, but this is really the right time to communicate what you're thinking or what you're planning. Or if you want to attract new partners, this is the time to sort of go out and look for them and talk to them, because you can be very successful at that right now. And there's nothing stopping you. There are no retrograde planets. Remember that. And then another thing is also happening that is fortunate in a way, and it is that there are 5 planets, the same 5 planets as last week, which are in earth signs trining each other. So that means that Jupiter and Uranus, and remember they're both direct right now in Taurus, a fixed financial sign ruling investments, are both trining 3 other planets in Capricorn. And they are Venus and the exalted Mars in Capricorn and Mercury in Capricorn. And Mars is at 20 degrees of Capricorn, 20 degrees, and Mercury is at 23 degrees. It has sort of zoomed forward a little bit more quickly, and now it's ahead of Mars, but they're both conjuncting, and Mars is a very strong planet, and it's in a business sign that rules large corporations, government agencies, and institutions. And this simply means, with these 5 planets trining each other, that a lot of people in upper management have got their minds on the bottom line, and they know that in uncertain financial times they're going to have to cut costs somewhere, because costs keep going up, and so something's going to have to happen. And we may hear some bad news about layoffs or cutbacks in one way or another. And these 5 planets in the earth signs are trining the sign of Virgo, and that's important because, for one thing, Mercury is Virgo's ruler, and it's in Capricorn trining the sign it rules. That makes Virgo stronger, and it's fortified by the 5 planets in the earth signs anyway. But Virgo rules analysis, and it rules good problem solving. And this is a time, with all these planets direct, that people in upper management in these large corporations, government agencies, or institutions, or even people who are heads of whole countries, can be very willing to listen to common sense, good ideas that could help perhaps solve some of the financial problems that these leaders are facing. And that's because Virgo rules common sense, and it rules analysis and good problem solving. So, you know, if you have a simple idea for how to solve a big problem, this is the right time to speak up. And somebody could probably pay you for that, because they'd be rather eager to listen to your good ideas, and you may be able to form new partnerships if you share your plans or your goals or your ideas right now. Because people in upper management have large financial problems, and that they didn't always cause, but they, in order to stay in business or to keep going forward, they have to deal with them. And, you know, if they're having to cut costs anyway, they'd rather listen to a simple solution to something than a big solution that is very long-term and costly. That's not what they're interested in right now. They're interested in doing something that is easy to do. And so with no planets in fire signs right now, and that's because there's nothing in Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius, people are not willing to take a risky gamble on anything, or they're not willing to be real impulsive and just try any old thing. But they are really willing to listen now to common sense solutions that perhaps can solve pesky problems that they are facing in the world. Some of them can be very big problems that we're all facing, such as war, or such as high inflation, high interest rates, and the thing that can hurt all of us is high debt. And the world can be facing that right now. And so a simple common sense idea, if you've got it, somebody could, you need to speak up, because that could pay off right now for you. And so I really encourage you to go forward with your future plans, because you could attract a new partner, and perhaps that partner would have some money to back your new idea. And with that, you can get something off the ground, particularly if it makes sense right now. There could be a lot of people that are willing to listen to you. So search forward if you can. All right, what does this mean to all 12 of the sun signs? Aries. Well, Aries, remember I said there are no planets in the fire signs right now. Okay, so if you wanted to just, take off and do something rather impulsive, I don't think you'd have any takers with that, Aries. And your sign does oppose the sign of Libra, where the moon is today. And so if you are wanting to sort of have everything your own way, or be impulsive, or take a risky gamble on something, there is probably a partner, perhaps a woman, that's not too crazy about that right now, Aries, and may go her own way instead, and be willing to listen to things that are not as risky and are a little simpler. So if you stick to a simple idea, you could probably get some people to listen to you, Aries. But if you're saying to yourself, no, I want to be in charge, and I want to do things my way, then that might take you a little bit longer, but that would be all right, Aries, because if you spent between now, when all the planets are direct, remember, so you'd be productive in your efforts. If you spent between now and the time of the solar eclipse in your sign in April, developing your ideas further, just on your own, you could be ready to start something new, and I think you're going to this spring, Aries. So it's a question of whether you want to sort of take off and just do the first part, or whether you want to develop your plans a little bit more thoroughly and perhaps attract more serious responses later on in April when the solar eclipse is in your sign. So, you can decide what to do, Aries, but I wouldn't jump in to something without a thorough plan, because there are no planets in the fire signs to back you up. And that's why I'd be a little bit more cautious right now. Okay, what does it mean to a Taurus? Well, Taurus, Jupiter, and now finally Uranus in your sign are both direct, and they are trining Venus, your own ruler, Taurus, in Capricorn, along with the exalted Mars and Mercury that are in Capricorn, and they are tightly conjuncting each other right now. And so, Taurus, you could have your mind on the bottom line right now, and on money, and whether it's money that you want to spend for something really nice that you like that's sort of high priced, or whether you're just carefully watching your budget and perhaps anticipating that you need to respond to cutbacks somewhere, either by your employer or in an organization that you belong to. That is completely possible right now, because people at the top are not interested in spending a lot of money on something that is speculative. What they really want to do is solve their problems in a common sense, simple way. And you probably do too, Taurus. And so this is a better time for you to stand back a little bit right now in the face of financial conditions in the world that we didn't make, but we're affected by them. Big ones, such as war, or very high debt that whole countries have right now. You could be worried about that, Taurus, because your sign rules investments. That would affect your investments, Taurus. And so this is a time when you might do better by sitting down and asking yourself, okay, what is the simplest way to solve my budget problems? Or how could I cut back on my expenses a little bit? Or do I really have to spend this much money on something right now? Maybe I could wait a little while until the prices come down. Or if you have any debt, Taurus, this is an excellent time for you to say, how can I get rid of that? Because people need to cut their debt down. And that's because the cost of debt is so high. And inflation is high, interest rates are high, food is high. So Taurus, I think if you spend a little bit of time being a little bit brutal with your budget, cutting it down to size a little bit, you might actually do quite well. And you might be glad, because then it would give you more disposable income when things do get a little bit better, for you to invest in things that aren't facing these huge problems. I mean, maybe it's just better to put the money in the old oak chest for right now, Taurus, because tax time is coming up. Well, you'll have to pay those. And possibly you just need to keep your hands a little bit more on your own money, and maybe put off a little bit of spending right now. And that actually could be the simplest way for you to cut down on costs. And there's nothing wrong with that. That could help get you through a time when people are not very sure about their financial futures. However, if you have a good idea, Taurus, this is the time to speak up. Maybe you could attract new partners who also want to cut costs in one way or another, but that could be profitable for everybody in the long run, so good luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Gemini? Gemini. Well, Gemini, we've got a trine of the lights in the air signs. There's nothing in your sign right now, Gemini, but oh boy, you're going to profit in a communicative, open way. In other words, by speaking out in public in one way or another, because the Sun and Pluto in Aquarius are trining the moon today in Libra, and both of them are trining your Sun, Gemini, which is wonderful for you. That means not only should you speak up because it would pay you, you would get some sort of surprising reward for letting people know what your good ideas are right now, Gemini. And on top of that, you might be able to attract a new partner who would be very beneficial to you, either in a short-term project, which is what your sign rules. It rules temporary or short-term things, or in something that might be just in the development stage, but could, if it succeeds, particularly with a better partner, you could expand that, and there's no telling where that would lead, because Jupiter is coming into your sign on May 26th, and that isn't that far away. And so this is a good time for you to let people know what you're thinking about, Gemini. Maybe it's like fishing. Maybe not everyone is going to take the bait, but somebody is, because you've got a trine of the lights to your sun sign. And so, I mean, somebody's going to really like what you have to say, Gemini, so you need to speak up. And it's going to pay you to do that. It's going to be lucrative for you, either now or down the road, particularly if you attract a new partner, and that is entirely possible, so good luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Cancer? Cancer. Well, Cancer, you're going to have to face business problems right now, And Cancer, there's just no way you can get around it. And the reason why is that Venus and the exalted Mars and Mercury are all in Capricorn squaring your Sun. So there are other people, perhaps in higher management, that are going to have to make some very difficult decisions in response to financial conditions that are really sort of presenting themselves right now. And in order to get through tough financial times, people will have to cut costs. And so that could affect you in one way or another. One small way that it could affect you, a short-term Cancer, is that the value of some real estate you own may be going down a little bit. That's unusual because generally real estate just goes up. But if interest rates go up too, or if there are more people that are laid off and can't afford high-priced mortgages, that could affect the value of your home as well. But on the other hand, Cancer, you have Saturn and Neptune in Pisces trining your Sun, and that simply means that behind the scenes, this is an excellent time for you to speak up. It would pay you behind the scenes to work on making a dream come true. Because remember, there's a trine of the lights right now. And so the Sun and Pluto are in Aquarius, the sign of the future. And the Moon is in Libra. Yes, it is squaring your Sun, which means there can be a change in a partnership for you, Cancer. Perhaps one partner's going and another one is coming. Who knows? There is an eclipse coming up, a lunar eclipse coming up soon. And that always denotes one woman going and another woman coming. And so you could be faced with challenges right now, Cancer, but not behind the scenes. With Saturn and Neptune trining your Sun now, and Neptune being very strong because it rules the sign of Pisces, you could be much more effective behind the scenes, working on making a dream come true right now. And that could give you forward progress, and it could certainly pay you to speak up to somebody about that. Maybe quietly, but you should do it, Cancer, because that's a road to your future. It's just behind the scenes, but it's still a road to your future, so good luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Leo? Leo. This is a time, Leo, when, since there are no planets in the fire signs, what are you going to do? Are you going to take a risky gamble? I wouldn't do that, Leo. There's nothing supporting your sign. Nothing in Aries and nothing in Sagittarius and nothing in your sign. So overall, people are not willing to take a risky gamble on anything right now. And your sign rules gambling, Leo. So if you have taken a risky gamble on something, you might be a little out of luck at the moment, or maybe it would not be paying off the way you thought it would, so that could be a disappointment. On the other hand, the sign of Virgo is right ahead of your Sun sign, and it's being trined by 5 planets, 2 in Taurus and 3 in Capricorn, and Virgo rules common sense solutions, and it rules analysis, and it rules facts and details. And if you took this sort of time out right now and didn't take a risk on anything and didn't feel bad about a gamble that wasn't quite paying off the way you expected it to, then instead, why don't you refine, by going over the details a little bit better, refine a plan of yours for the future that involves a new beginning. And the reason why I suggest you just quietly work on that, because that could pay off, Leo, and that is because in April there is a solar eclipse in Aries that's trining your Sun. You are aspected to make a new beginning this spring. And so in the face of the fact that other planets are moving forward, in fact all of them are, which means that a lot of people sort of want to get things underway. They want to live their own lives. They want to go their own way. And these aren't the good old days. And so if you wanted to concentrate a little bit more on not a gamble, but on something that you've been thinking about that you do feel is a sure thing that you are ready to commit yourself to no later than April, I think that that's a wise use of your time, Leo. And I would do that. I would really get serious about planning for a new beginning right now, because it's sort of like doing your homework. And you have to do that, or you can't be successful when you make a new beginning. So this is a great time for you to just quietly concentrate on your future, but do it in a common sense, simple, very detailed way right now. get the plan out and work on it, Leo. Outline it, develop it, seek help when you need it, but get something pretty solid that can help you blast off in April, because you could do it. Okay, what does it mean to a Virgo? Well, Virgo, this is the time when you greatly benefit, as you have been able to do for the last few weeks, by the trines that are coming from planets in Taurus and in Capricorn. I mean, under the new moon in Capricorn, earlier this month, in January, you had 6 planets trining your sun. Last week you had 5 planets trining your sun. This week you still have those same 5 planets, Virgo. Virgo, you're sitting pretty. Now, it may not show on the outside. It may not show that your life is changing too much, but I think it is. And I think what you're wanting to do is simplify your life in some way. And you probably are being real careful about your money and your investments and whether they're paying off or not. And so you could really have had your mind on business from the holidays on until now. You still have your mind on business or on your career or on matters that affect your pending retirement. And so that's good, Virgo. But I just want to caution you that life isn't all about math or just adding up the numbers. And you are absolutely excellent at problem solving, so you're going to be in demand, Virgo. People are going to come to you and say, well, what do you think? What do you suggest? And you will probably have a ready answer. Virgos spend their spare time trying to think of how to solve problems. They're really good at that. But as I said, life is not all dollars and cents. It's not all mathematics. It's not all accounting, even though those are all the things your sign rules. There's a thing called the quality of life, and your sign rules the healthcare field. The healthcare field is very concerned with a patient's quality of life. And so just to translate that to you, I'm not saying you are a patient, Virgo, but what I'm saying is yours is a mental sign. And one thing that Virgos do suffer from is mental anguish, because they worry about everything, absolutely everything. And so you need to take a break, Virgo. You may as well, because I think you've got everything locked down. I think you know where your money is and what it's doing, and you've got things planned for your career or your retirement years in advance. No problem there at all. So why don't you take a break, Virgo? Why don't you do something that's just fun? Or something that does cost a little bit of money, like going just on a simple vacation, or taking a hike somewhere, or getting out in nature. All the earth signs like to do that. And so, Virgo, I think you need a break from all the mental work you've been doing, and a break from the mental anguish that other people are feeling that you can sense around you. I mean, you can be worried because somebody else is worried. Take a break, Virgo. While you've got so many planets trining your sun, nothing is going to change or hurt you if you go on vacation, Virgo, and maybe you just need to calm down and rest that very good mind of yours. Okay, you don't have to work all the time. That's what I'm saying. And this is a time when if you feel that you're pretty solid in your career and in your finances, then actually you can afford to take a break. And it would do your mind a lot of good. And the quality of your life does not have to contain as much worry as you usually have, because there's no reason for it anymore. And that's why you need to relax. So I hope you do that. You owe yourself. Good luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Libra? Well, Libra, the moon today is in your sign. Lucky you, Libra. That simply means, Libra, that you are really going to be able to speak up and maybe attract a new partner in something that you want to do right now that could involve a plan for the future. Now, what kind of a partner would it be, Libra? It might be somebody rather powerful or rather influential. Even if they were retired, they would have been powerful and influential. And that person could be very interested in your ideas right now, Libra. And that is because the Sun and Pluto, which denotes people in powerful positions, are in Aquarius, trining the moon in your sign. So you're benefiting from a trine of the lights, and all the planets are direct. There is no reason for you not to speak up right now, Libra, and let people know what your ideas and plans are. Advertise. Will do you a lot of good. And that's because Gemini trines your sun. And so does Pluto and the Sun in Aquarius. And you have the moon in your sign. You could be feeling very benevolent toward people right now because the moon is sort of passive and calm and nice. And you could be wanting peace, but not at any price. It's got to be peace where there's a better future for people. And that's possible now. It could also be a better future for you, Libra. And this is the time to speak up, because if you speak up, it'll pay off. And it could pay off in ways that could surprise you. And the surprise would be to the upside. The surprise would please you. Maybe it's a new partner coming into your life that would make you very happy. Or maybe somebody who wants to listen to your ideas, they could be thinking that you would make them very happy. And that's probably true. So it's time for you to speak up, Libra. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. And there's 2 eclipses in your sign this year. Your life's going to change anyway. May as well go after good things in your future. This is the time for it. Good luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Scorpio? Scorpio. This is a time, Scorpio, when people can be very busy thinking about problems. They can even be bigger problems than an individual has. In other words, we can all be aware of the wars that are going on in the world, and that can cause anxiety at times because they seem to be continuing. Nobody seems to want to end a war. They seem to want to just escalate one instead. And your sign, Scorpio, rules the military, and it rules justice. And that is, Scorpios they are adamant about seeking justice, and they don't like injustice of any kind. And so, Scorpio, if you were wanting to speak up about your future plans and to say attract a new partner, which is possible for everybody right now, including you, I would do it behind the scenes if I were you, Scorpio. And I'd work on that too, because I think you've got a clear shot as long as you are doing it behind the scenes, and as long as it involves a precious dream of yours that you've had for a long, long time, and this is the right time to make that come true. And the reason why is that business matters are pretty much going to take care of themselves. And so I don't think that you need to get caught up right now in lengthy business discussions unless they're going to solve a problem. And so, for instance, if there was the possibility of a legal settlement, if you're involved in something like that, this would be a good time to talk about that, because the moon in Libra is right behind your sun sign, and it's being trined by the Sun and Pluto. And so if you needed to reach any kind of end a partnership issue, or even start one, another one, or end a legal issue, behind the scenes you could be successful doing that right now. And the talk would be fruitful. It would lead to some good conclusion or settlement, which would be good. But on the other hand, if you were thinking just of what would make your future better and would make you happier, Scorpio, then Neptune, which rules Pisces, and Saturn are in Pisces right now. Both of them are direct, and Neptune is very strong, but it rules dreams. And it rules things that occur behind the scenes. And so for a personal, not a business matter, but a personal matter that could make you happier, I would work behind the scenes on that, Scorpio, and speak up. This is the time when it pays to speak up. That's the title of the show, because it does. But the payment that you could receive, Scorpio, behind the scenes would be the realization of a long-held dream that would make you very happy in your heart. And the real riches in life flow from love, from what makes us happy in our hearts. And so you could go for that, Scorpio. Almost nobody would see you doing that either. As long as you are speaking up to whoever could make you, help you make a dream come true behind the scenes. Your possibilities for success are excellent. There should be no reason for you not to do that. Because Neptune won't stay in Pisces. And once it leaves, there's a very strong possibility the dream leaves too. You know, patience doesn't last forever. And Scorpio rules patience. Scorpios are the most patient people in the world. But even that isn't forever. And so think about a fortunate legal settlement that you could do behind the scenes now. That's a business thing. And something that could really make you happy if you make a dream come true behind the scenes. That could fulfill you, Scorpio. And no matter how quiet you've been about it, if it's still a dream, then it isn't real until it comes true. Just remember that. Okay, what does it mean to a Sagittarian? Sagittarius. This is a time, Sagittarius, when there aren't any planets in the fire sign, so what are you going to do, Sagittarius? I mean, yours is a fire sign, you like to be on the go. You also like to read a lot about what else is happening in the world. Sagittarius rules international events and the international courts and international law and people from foreign countries, and so and higher education. And so you like to keep up on what's going on in the world, Sagittarius. And you know, you can almost get a little too full of bad news sometimes, because there is a lot of things that people can't solve by themselves right now. But you know, if we all spoke up about some simple common sense solutions that we have, even if they're temporary, even if they're just in the beginning stages, in others they're not the whole answer, but they could lead to that, then that's what you should be concentrating on, Sagittarius. Communication is really highlighted right now for everyone, and that's because there's a trine of the lights in the communicative air signs. And so the Sun and Pluto in Aquarius, which are sextiling your Sun, are being trined by the Moon in Libra, which also sextiles your Sun. In other words, you know, this is a time for you to speak up too, Sagittarius. Even if you're not ready to go forward on a plan today, you could talk to people about your good ideas. They would be willing to listen. And also, you could be attracting powerful people and a new partner with the Sun and the Moon, both sextiling your Sun. So, Sagittarius, you have nothing to lose by speaking up now about a future plan of yours, or a simple common sense idea that you've got that you think would work. I mean, Sagittarians are generally much more well informed than people realize, because they keep up on things. And so I would say that you're somewhat well prepared to discuss whatever you're thinking about right now. And you could be discussing it with a powerful person, or attracting a new partner, or both. And I don't see why you would wait. The world needs help right now, Sagittarius. It's sort of going in the wrong direction. There's more war, not less. And there's more debt, not less. And so all of us need to speak up now and put our heads together. And we don't have anything to be afraid of, and there's no retrograde planets for the first time in months. There isn't anything stopping anybody. So speak up, Sagittarius. Don't let that fine mind of yours go to waste. Let people know what you're thinking right now. It'll do them and you a lot of good. Okay, what does it mean to a Capricorn? Well, Capricorn, this is a time, Capricorn, when you can be absolutely loaded with serious matters on your mind, and that can do you a lot of good, Capricorn, because Venus has come into your sign. That's always good. That can make you feel better about things or be more hopeful, and certainly enjoy the companionship of people around, or being involved in something that involves teamwork or fun. Those are all things Venus represents. But Mars is exalted in your sign. It's at 20 degrees today, and it is conjuncting Mercury, the planet of communication, at 23 degrees in your sign. And all three planets are being trined beautifully by Jupiter and Uranus in Taurus, which are direct. Everything is direct right now. And so I know, Capricorn, you're not a person to do anything too impulsive. You like to plan things step by step, and you don't like to skip steps either, so that's fine. But this could be a time when you need to sort of really go over your budget, and I don't think that your budget's in trouble, Capricorn, at all, because Capricorns are so careful with their money, and they're not big spenders, they're big savers. And so I think that's all fine, Capricorn. But you and your investments could still be subject to conditions that are worrisome financial conditions throughout the world, such as war, such as high debt, that other corporations, government agencies, or institutions have right now. And that might affect your retirement plans in one way or another, or your investment funds. And so you need to be, you need to really sit down and say, okay, what do I want to keep, and what is not looking so good anymore? Because this is a very good time for you to do a little house cleaning in a very practical way, Capricorn. There may be some relationships that are not important to you anymore. So, fine, wave goodbye. On the other hand, there can be some things that you do or that are connected to your career or to your public reputation that you're no longer interested in, but there could be new things that you're interested in. And if you're just at a stage where you feel like your life is turning around a little bit, Capricorn, and you might be ready to sort of go in a direction that leads you toward the future. Remember, the Sun and Pluto are in Aquarius right ahead of your sun sign, and they're being beautifully aspected today. Then this is a time when you need to say, okay, what do I want to do for the next 20 years? That's a real good question to ask yourself right now, Capricorn, because one, Capricorns live a very long time, and on top of that, Pluto has left your sign, and now it is right ahead of your sign in Aquarius, the sign of the future. So take the lead that Pluto is giving you, and start thinking a little bit more about your future plans. And if you say, oh, I'm just going to sit in a rocking chair for the next 20 years, oh, come on, Capricorn. A person of your talent, Capricorns like working. You should find something to work at. And if it's enjoyable, or if it's even just a hobby, that's what you should be doing for the next 20 years. Capricorn, sort of keeping your hand in one way or another. That's what you're good at. It doesn't have to be big splashy success, it just has to be steady. And that's the way you like things. So I hope you go for that. Okay, what does it mean to an Aquarian? Oh, Aquarius. There's a trine of the lights, and one of the lights, the sun, along with Pluto, is in your sign, trining the moon today in Libra. And so certainly you ought to speak up about your future plans. I'm sure you've got some, Aquarius. Yours is a very fertile mind. Aquarians can be stimulated by a lot of different things in the world, and they get ideas that just come out of nowhere. Aquarius rules music. Where does music come from? I don't know. I'm not a musician. But people who are into music seem to always be hearing things or singing things in a beautiful, different way, and they know how to express that. And other people don't. And so, Aquarius, you've got a great future ahead of you now that Pluto has come into your sign. And you can attract a new partner right now, easily. because the moon in Libra is trining the sun in your sign where you have Pluto. Your power, in one way or another, is going to increase sometime over the next 15 to 20 years. And it will be steadily increasing, slowly, but steadily. So Aquarius, this is a very good time for you to realize that you're not going back to the past. And now you don't have to leave your whole past behind. But what I mean is that if you were doing something years ago, you don't have to keep doing it. You might want to invent a new way to do it, or a new way just to go forward in your life. Or maybe it's that Aquarius rules technology. Maybe it's just that you are going to be stimulated a lot by the new technologies that will be coming out during the 15 or 20 years that Pluto is in your sign. It's really going to bring growth in technology and in space and in the whole telecommunications field. It's just going to grow and grow and grow and grow to levels that we've never seen in our lives before. And so if you're out getting stimulated in one way or another, and you're thinking of something brand new, Aquarius, I'd speak up now. It could really pay you to talk to somebody, particularly somebody influential, and you could attract a new partner right now. And so why don't you do it, Aquarius? You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. And if you don't believe me, just wait till June. Because on May 26th, Jupiter comes into Gemini, and it will be trining Pluto in your sign. And then you're going to have a year of huge opportunity. And it would be very unfortunate if you did not respond to all the opportunities that will be coming your way. But you yourself have to have good ideas too. So give it your best shot right now, Aquarius. Who knows? People are actually very willing to listen right now. They may not be willing to take a big far-off gamble, but they're willing to listen. And that could attract partners to you. And that could help you just take off, Aquarius. So I wish you the best of luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Pisces? Pisces. This is a time, Pisces, when if you were going to speak up, that would be a very good idea, Pisces. And it would be about something new in your future, because the Sun in Aquarius and Pluto in Aquarius are right behind your sun sign. So there is something new developing behind the scenes in your life, Pisces. And it's sort of cooking on the back burner, but it's cooking. And you know, you need to quietly, in your own somewhat mysterious, secretive, nebulous way, you need to investigate future plans a little bit more right now, Pisces, because they could do you a world of good, and they could attract a new partner to you as well. And you need that, Pisces, because Neptune has been in your sign for years, and it rules dreams. So, you know, Pisces have a lot of dreams, but a dream isn't real until you make it come true, Pisces. And Neptune isn't going to be in your sign much longer. And so you have the wonderful Sun and Pluto in Aquarius right behind your sun sign. That means that somewhere in the background of your life there is a powerful person who is interested in the future. And they could be somebody who is a humanitarian. And they would be attracted to your ideas, Pisces. And they could be an idea or a dream that you have had for years. And that is because Saturn is in your sign now. And Saturn's transit is 28 to 30 years. So 28 to 30 years ago, what was going on in your life, Pisces? Because something either has reached a conclusion and it's ending, but you would have a new future. You would have and the possibility of a new partner, because that Sun and Pluto in Aquarius right behind your sun sign are trining the moon in Libra today, which rules partnership. And so, you know, it's sort of like musical chairs, Pisces. It's time to change the chair, or it's time to go forward with something. You have to do it behind the scenes, but you can still go forward. And it would be more in line with something or someone that you had had on your mind or in your heart for a very long time. And it may not be who's there now. It could be just somebody that was like a dream. But they stuck around. They were real. And your dream was real. And it holds the possibility of a better future for you, Pisces, with the Sun and Pluto in Aquarius right behind your sun sign, and Aquarius rules the future. So you do not have to look back. You need to operate quietly behind the scenes on your future. Because Pluto isn't going anywhere, Pisces. I mean, it goes back in Capricorn for a few months this year, but it's going to be in Aquarius for the next 20 years. And that's going to really have a big effect on you behind the scenes, a powerful effect. And Pluto rules deep truth. So that your future should involve the deep truth of what has been in your heart for a long time. And in a funny kind of a way, it doesn't have anything to do with the past. Even if it's been in your heart for a long time, it probably hasn't been in your life for a long time. But it's been in your heart, and now the future, you can work on that future. And I urge you to do it, Pisces, while Neptune is still in your sign, and while Saturn gives you the patience and the strength to look at the truth in your heart. Saturn is a planet of reality, and this is a good time to face that and to realize that you're well aspected to speak up about something in your future that may have only been a dream, but you can make that dream come true, and that would attract a new partner. Oddly enough, the new partner might be the dream that you've had for so long. But you have to speak up to make that work, Pisces. Just as in any dream, sooner or later you have to wake up and make it come true. So good luck. All right. Thanks so much for tuning in. Remember, you can subscribe on my Karen Campbell YouTube channel, and I wish you'd tell your friends about that too. And you can read the blog on my website, STARBORNinstitute.org. And if it says that it's not safe, just scroll down and still hit it anyway. There's nothing on it but the blog. And a little idea that I've had for a long time that I'm going to be talking about in the upcoming shows. But I'll keep that in suspense for a little bit longer, because I've got to develop that idea better before I present it to you. But anyway, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you right back here next week. Bye.